What's up, y'all? We back. We're here to finish up this ridiculousness that's Ready to Love, a reunion part two. I'm glad it's over. I know y'all are glad it's over too. Before we start talking about this foolishness, go ahead, like the video, subscribe to my channel, and yeah, let's get this over with. Let's get into it. Um, Anyway, they still fighting in the back. I think this is so ridiculous. I don't know what the deal is between Janelle and Tanquilla, except for the fact that they both ignorant as hell and don't know how to conduct themselves in public. Like they don't have the same connections. They don't even know each other. So there really shouldn't even be a reason for all of this anger going on between the two of them. I feel like both of them are probably kind of hard to be in the room with. Anyway, production calls Kat and Quentin and Janelle and Moye to the stage. Tommy's sitting out there, really wasting our time, but Deez is the host. This is the host, so this is what we got. Tommy wants to know, they show all these interactions between Kat and Janelle that were a little bit explosive, if you want to call it that. Like, basically, Quentin is out there barbecuing. Kat and Quentin are having a conversation, but here comes Janelle busting through there, to make sure that there's no real conversation to be had. Kat, at the end of the day, I don't think Quentin has it in him anyway, so you might as well. Like, I don't think she cared. It was just like Janelle's over aggressive behavior. Anytime Quentin wants to try to have a conversation with anyone other than her, especially coming from the side of the room that Janelle seems to be very much intimidated by, then, she's busting in. And I mean, we see how Janelle, gets down. Whatever Kat is saying, I believe her because we see it. We see how she gets down. So Tommy wants to know where the tension came from between her and Janelle. He asked Quentin first. Quentin said, well, like, there's probably not anything to do with what happened between us earlier. It could be, though. It's not. It's not. I don't think Janelle cares enough about Quentin. Not like that. I think she just wanted to win. And so that's her tactic to, bully bitches out of the way, I suppose. Kat said basically she don't vibe with Janelle. She, Janelle is very disrespectful in the way she communicates. Kat does not like the way Janelle talks to her. Basically, she's like, we can have a disagreement, but you're not going to disrespect me in conversation. And Janelle absolutely has this whole shut you down type energy. Every time you open your mouth, she's going to try to shut it down, especially if it comes from the side of the room that she deems pretty. Janelle doesn't really engage with women that she's intimidated by. What she's intimidated by is tall, young, and slim. And I'll explain why I say that later. Why that's my opinion. Quentin pretty much asked her if the reason why she thought that happened is because you already got a problem with her. Do you think that has something to do with it? And I felt like Tommy and Quentin both tried to make it a Kat thing, and it's not a Kat thing. Like, I think both of y'all see how this lady communicates. She over on one side of the couch. How did they have them sitting? She's sitting next to Marie. That was kind of weird. They had Kat next to Quentin and Janelle next to Marie, and she's sitting over there giving all these different faces, honey. She is like glaring at this lady and twisting and turning and throwing her head. She's so over dramatic. It's even when she's not talking, she's being kind of aggressive. I know y'all don't like words, aggressive, combative. That's the energy she was giving over there. Everything they said about Jessica is, Janelle times 10. Janelle said everyone is obsessed with her. That's how she feels.
Janelle, what's your take on this?
Tommy, what's so interesting about this process is the obsession with me.
Girl, bye. I'm sorry. You're literally in every argument there is. Please, somebody spare me. Girl, nobody is obsessed with you.
Very obsessed.
Stop it.
I have never. I'm 42 years old.
You have an issue with everyone on the cast. Like, let's cut the
obsession.
Let's let her finish.
Obsession, girl.
Go ahead. Janelle, proceed.
I'm 42 years old. I've been in some rooms with some extraordinary people, and I've never once in my life felt insecure. Yet my presence, by me simply walking in the room, challenges their mediocrity. And that is not my problem.
You're so delusional.
And it will not be my problem.
See, that's the thing about her I'm talking about. All this drama when she talks, nobody is obsessed with her. And why is it that when you walk in the room, people are all of a sudden so overcome by their feeling of mediocrity? What are you talking about? Is that how you talk in your real life? Why do you want to make people feel like that? I would not want people to feel like that when I walk in the room. You can walk in a room and have people notice you for other reasons, like besides making other folks feel mediocre. And what about them is mediocre? Guacamole, hold on. Sorry, my daughter's making guacamole and I had to test it. Anyway, what was I saying? This girl talking about how people are mediocre. That's such a weird thought process to me that I feel like when I walk in a room, she's walking in this room with all this greatness on a regular basis. And then when she enters the room, all of a sudden these girls feel so less than, and she finds that an empowering feeling that they're obsessed with her. Janelle is delusional, just like Kat said. I mean, I guess, girl, that's an unfortunate way to think. And it's also like weird how she doesn't see it. And we looking at Quentin like, so you don't see this over here? He feeds into it, unfortunately. So there's that. So we're back on this whole combative conversation. I'm over this too. I think this is the most ridiculous. I say that a lot, I guess, but it's just been a whole lot of nonsense, like the stuff that's a waste of time. And what are they putting their energy into? So when this thing came up, it was Kat, Lee, and Chris on one side, and then you got Marie and Jessica on the other side, and Aries. And I don't know what Aries is sitting there for. Why is she there? She has nothing to do with any of this. She didn't even say nothing either. This this seating on the reunion basically is giving me the same energy as the show did. Like, why is she here? I don't wish she didn't have no parts of this conversation. But anyway, we're going to talk about combative and how Chris is still denying that he said it. And he said, I said combative situation. I didn't say you were combative. Chris said all the guys said she was combative. I don't know if they did or didn't. I don't care, because I think guacamole again. Sorry. Guacamole on point. Back to the bullshit. So Jessica. Yeah, I did. They didn't rendered me speechless. Jessica and Janelle give a whole lot of energy together. I feel like Jessica is the RBF, the how she wants to direct how you speak to her, which is not the same thing as Kat said. And when I say that, I mean she wants to choose your words for you. The boy said he was in a combative situation. That's how he felt. And I don't know why he felt like he couldn't just say that. Like, girl, you made me feel like I was in combat. Like he said, they all said. Why? That both him and Kat said combative, there's nothing wrong with the word. And I think there is nothing wrong with the word. I think Jessica's making a big deal out of something that's not that big of a deal. But I mean, I didn't see her be combative, so I can't like give her that. And I made a whole video how y'all that haven't showed her be combative yet. I don't find her to be warm and fuzzy. Maybe she is depending on the situation, but we didn't see that either. When they say talk down to, Jessica's very educated, and I do get that energy that probably when she talks to you, she does have air of superiority. That's not the same thing that Janelle is giving off, though. But I can see how for some people it might be off-putting. Kat is young. She's 34 years old. So her point of view, her perspective is going to be very different. This is what annoyed me about the situation, though, because this particular season had these people so dedicated to their alliances. I don't think they could get to relationships because honestly, if you're gonna be a part of this, club, this ready to love club, you should, look at the relationships that you are going to bond with, whether it be, I don't feel like the women or the men need to go into the situation so much anti each other. Maybe the relationship that you were supposed to, get out of this experience is the relationship with a new friend, whether it be male or female. It just a relationship that goes beyond this situation. I think a lot of times in life you might do a hair show or just something simple, you know what I'm saying, and you meet friends. I remember going to see Prince way back in the day, and this before you could get your tickets on the internet. You had to go down to the thing and stand in line and wait, and we camped out in Atlanta outside the Omni. We went 10 o'clock at night, stayed there all night long so you could be first in line to get these tickets. That in itself was an experience, and friends were made there that carried on for years and years after that. So my point is, like, these people sometimes, and I'm gonna give it to the girls because I don't think the guys do that as much as the girls do, but they go in these situations like, I'm here to find love, I'm not here to make friends. And so it creates negative energy. These alliances were so split down the middle that it was just, we could all see it. Hell, Stevie Wonder could see it. So they're sitting on the couch. Chris is still lying. And this is what I don't like about Chris's lying ass. Just say you said it. Like, why didn't you just say you said it? It's not that big of a deal. If you were the one that's saying what's so big deal about the word, if the word is not a big deal, then why won't you just cop to it? If that's how you felt, that's how you felt. And she could feel however she feels. You called her a strong woman. She said she didn't like that. Strong Black woman. She said she didn't like that. And instead of just being like, all right, sis, you decided you were going to call her that again because you want to piss her off. So you're kind of combative yourself a little bit. I'm just saying. So I think another part of the problem is Chris thinks that when he speaks, you're supposed to just, they got these gender role thing going on too that created more unnecessary energy. And I think that's the conversation that set it off in the first place. Marie asked how did they feel about gender roles, and then Kat and Janelle ended up getting into it. So in this situation, when Jessica realized that her and Chris weren't a match, she came back to the ladies' lounge and she said, Tommy asked about her connection with Chris, and she said, I'm just going to let him love on these other ladies because I think for us, it's going to be a no. And when she said that, and she asked both of them, did I say that? First Lee did like this. Then she looked back at Kat and they decided, I was like, so y'all decided that it's more important to just be aligned with this lying ass nigga because that's what he is. And I question like the loyalty to him because combative, not combative. If that's how you feel, that's how you feel. Jessica will be fine with her, grumpy ass attitude over there sitting next to Marie. Mad, Now the energy is like rubbing off on Marie. Marie did not used to be grumpy. Now that he's coupled up with Jessica, he grumpy too. Anyway, the alliances are stupid. And so because they didn't answer, then Jessica's like, okay, yeah, y'all are on mute. No, we're not on mute, but yeah, you kind of are. It would have just been easier to say yeah. And then y'all saw how Chris yelled at her. That was completely out of pocket. I'm sorry. You can admit that. I mean, I'm not saying they shouldn't be friends with Chris. If y'all like click or however y'all click, that's fine. But you still should be calling your friends, out on their bullshit. And that's definitely bullshit. He shouldn't have been hollering at that lady. And then he kept saying, like, I've seen him answer this question on so many different platforms. And here he goes again. He doesn't have no real explanation as to why he did it. He started talking about how she treated the other girls and how she treated the wait staff. And you can say, and I mean, I know people like that where you like, don't talk to people like that. Or I mean, they're rude or they down talk to people in the service industry. I have run across people like that. It still doesn't give you any right to scream and holler at her like that. Like, I don't understand where all the passion was coming from to the point where you were about to cry. At the end of the day, I feel like you're a punk ass little boy who was mad because you think this girl made you lose. And the reason why I say that is because when the word combative was brought up, you were like, everyone said it. I wasn't the only one that said it. Like, Marie said it and all the people said it. Like, but you said it, though. That's what we're talking about. It kind of doesn't matter what they said. You said it and you denied it. So yeah. I mean, I guess stand by y'all's man, but your man is pussy. Did I say that? I mean, Kat went on a rant. She says she does think Jessica's combative. At this point, it's just these two. They don't like each other. I don't like the back and forth between those two because I feel like you're being loyal to someone that you saw be super disrespectful. So, it would have just been easier, like I said, to just say what really happened. At the end of it all, Tommy, chimes in with his ridiculous, input. I don't know what his input is supposed to do. Like, it's so stupid. So he cut Jessica off while she was trying to explain what happened this day. This dude just decided he wanted to fly off the hinges. And he pretty much cut. You know what? Let's just agree to disagree. Is that the theme for 2023, for goodness sake? Because agree to disagree, is that even a thing? How do you agree to disagree? I just disagree. I don't agree. I can't agree to disagree. So that means we just not going to talk about it no more. And I'm still going to feel away and you still going to feel away. And then what? And then we're back somewhere trying to get resolved because we decided to agree to disagree. That's the stupidest. Who came up with that? Put it back. I'm not agreeing to disagree with anything. I just disagree. That's it. That's all. I disagree. Now. Then he'll tell Chris to talk to women better. You think that's something he needs to work on? Talking to women better? Little crybaby ass. Kira. Out of all the people that are here, I'm so confused as to why she's here. I don't know what her business is because she says she's a cheerleader. So Kira talks about like her engagement with Marie and how she felt about him trying to question her blackness. And Marie, of course, is he lives in a Black conscious society full of consciousness and all. And honestly, if that's who he surrounds himself with, people that discuss the consciousness. What does she want? What is she going? What input? What input is she really gonna have? Like, is that gonna make her comfortable? And this is the thing about Kira. She came in there and said, she's the closest proximity to white out of everyone. Now, Jessica said that she said Atlanta was too black for her. We didn't hear her say that, but she said it. She did not deny that she said it. She said it. So when you come into a space, and we're not talking about someone like, I want to know what makes her in close proximity to white women. That she does like this, and she enters the room, and she's like, hey, I'm a cheerleader, and yeah. Like, is that what makes her at close proximity? Because I don't think that's it. I don't think that's it. I feel like all of them have, these are women with careers and, engagement with corporate situations. So I feel like they all have interactions with probably mostly white people. I feel like they probably mostly find themselves the only black woman in the room a lot of the time. I think there's a lot of us, like I was the only black person in my graduating class. I think there's a lot of us black people, I'm not even just gonna say women, that have found ourselves in positions where we're the only one there. I don't think that's, especially like when you're going higher up on, the success ladder as it relates to work. So I'm really confused by why she feels like she's in more close proximity to whiteness than anybody else. At the end of the day, she sounds a damn fool, especially when she tries to justify it. And also, why you have such a negative, like, too many black people make her nervous because why? Like, I would really be curious. And at first, when I saw it in the season, I was like, maybe it's because of that, because she talks very proper and she's the only black girl in her spaces. So that whole thing that she did, that cheerleader thing, I don't know, the cheerleader voice, the cheerleader, I'm bubbly type behavior, I think she would be a lot for a lot of people. I don't care what color you are. So we're not even gonna put a color on that thing that she's doing, because I don't equate that to white behavior. I know that that's what she equates it to, but none of my white friends and coworkers, and for the most part, don't really be that much over the top. The ones that are kind of like people that I don't really mess with too much. So I can see where I would probably not mess with Kira too much. It's off-putting, and because it comes across disingenuous. It comes across very much fake. Then she said, I don't even know how she compares what she said to Quentin to what was said to her. Because first of all, as far as the white comment, you said that. They didn't say that. You were the one that said you were in closest proximity to being white. That was your statement. Nobody put that on you. Then you said, like I said, Atlanta is too black for you. So you are in a room full of black women saying these disparaging things. So it's not them judging you based on anything other than the things you said. And so it is hard not to. Now, Quentin over here was doing whatever he was doing over in that gym, and this was the second time it came up. You were in the ladies' lounge, you and Tequila. Tequila said that because Tequila is unstable, and she hates Janelle. And they already have some type of back and forth thing that they're doing. This is from the very beginning. So Tequila said that because Quentin was Janelle's connection. That much I do believe. I don't know, like with her saying she don't think he likes white women because she asked him, was he feeling her? And or was he feeling anybody? And he said he ain't feeling nobody yet. And not you. And I think there was the only way for him to answer that, because I think what he really feeling was not Tequila. But when you don't feel her, she gets all crazy. She did the same thing to Phil. She just starts snapping on her, and it's okay for somebody. You ain't his type, girl, but that doesn't mean he doesn't like black women. And then you said he only was interested in Janelle because of her complexion, but then Lee's like, not true, because I'm over here and I'm a bad bitch. So I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, even in that room, you know, she jumped on that bandwagon with her, saying she got this vibe that he likes white girls. Newsflash, all of them like white girls and Latina girls and Asian girls and all the girls. That's what they like, all of them. So is there a type of guy out there that's their preference? Yeah, but you didn't ask that. You said to this man, you look like you like white girls. And he's trying to figure out what did I do to make you think that? And then she came up with because he's from Florida. So what? And I feel like if you felt like that, if you're judging him, because you know we all judge, you didn't ask Phil that, and he's over there with the white woman, but that was not, you know, a question that came up. And even though, I'm gonna say this, even though that girl that he brought to the show was not the mother of his child, he posted pictures of his child on his social media, and the mother must be very much other. That's it. So, like, and my point is, like, so what is the look that you're talking about? I don't know where Phil is from, but I'm just saying, what is the look that it is that he's giving you that makes you feel that way? And then, like I said, if you were trying to find out, because I feel like Kira, being a cheerleader, is around a lot of ball players, that's their preference. So it makes her feel a way to be in this space where she knows that the black man in the room is just her, it's just him, or very few, you know, very few people of color in the room, and the male portion of the room is going to choose non-white, I mean, non-women of color. And so, I mean, that's a space you in, girl, but it's triggering for her, I guess. But did she ask him that? If she would have said, just simply that, what is your preference like in dating? Like, I know this is a space with all black women, but do you date women of other backgrounds? And he could have answered the question and it wouldn't have been weird. But you just came at him all crazy, like, even if he did date white women, the way you ask will make a person feel like why? You know, I just feel like Kira's on bullshit. I don't know what her issues are. She needs to figure that out before she looks for love, because yeah, it's weird. He's from Florida. Talking about, it's just the vibe he's giving. She didn't even have a definitive answer. He's from Florida and he gives that vibe. You need to learn how to redirect your thought process and ask people questions in a way that they don't come off offensive. And then you want to act like a Karen. And see, this is the thing, like, y'all, all Karens ain't white. It's black Karens too. And this is a prime example. So now you're back there crying to the point where Maria is apologizing. I don't even know what he's saying, what he's sorry for, because he didn't do anything. He didn't want to bring you to the Black Power meeting because he was afraid you was gonna feel uncomfortable, and you were. Okay, so let's move on. Lee and Quentin and Janelle. Lee says that, you know, Quentin seemed like he was uncomfortable communicating with her as she was supposed to be, you know, his other connection, and not just her, but other women. The more she tried to, like, you know, get to know him, the more Janelle would bogart her way in. And again, we know she did that. Janelle, like, she sat up there trying to defend how Basically, in Janelle's mind, she thinks that the most important thing in life is having someone choose you. He chose me, he didn't choose you. And that's, I guess, how she's validating herself. I don't get it. When they went to the getaway, Lee said pretty much like, it's all good. He made his decision of who his connection was. Like, I'm not sitting over here like competing with this girl. I don't know what her problem is. But in Janelle's mind and her aggressive ass behavior, it's because, clearly you're feeling mediocre, girl, because she entered the room. And that's why you feel in some type of way, because Quentin chose her. Lee says she's not going to argue with somebody who's not self-aware, and she's not self-aware. The way that she sits and, are you kidding me? Seriously? This is what he chose. Obviously. She just be face twitching and she can't sit still, as soon as I've never like had a conversation with someone. Not someone that I mean, there's no beef. I haven't seen Lee beefing with anybody really. I've seen Kat standing up for herself because she's like, I'm not. Lee is on some that lady's crazy, so I'm not about to sit here and argue with her type shit. And Kat is on some. I'm about to tell her, and they probably sit back and talk about it because they bonded throughout this whole process. They have a friendship. Jessica and Janelle, on the other hand, have not. They are not friends. Lee pretty much, like I said, decided she wasn't gonna argue with this lady because she carried on and on about how she got chose. So congratulations, you win, Quentin. So on to the lovebirds that have won each other's heart. Janelle is talking about how giddy he makes her, and when she, they see each other, she's just so tee-hee-hee, and it was just easy, and they connected like in the dark sweet corner during the cameras were down. Like, she has produced this whole love story in her head, and pretty much his attitude is her feeling like she's that bitch when she walks in the room, like how she commands attention when she walks in the room. He likes that because he also commands attention when he walks in the room.
One of the biggest things that attracts me to Janelle is her aura. When she walks in a room, you feel it. And I want that because when I walk into a room, it's the same thing. You're gonna notice me. You're gonna feel me.
So does that mean they're one and the same? Seems like they're one and the same. Both full of shit. We all know it. The way they were talking, it was like a script from, a Lifetime movie, or it was real cute and everything, whatever. Are they still together? Let's ask Quentin.
I need to know. All right, so after the show, I'm just giving it to y'all. After the show ended, like I said, I'm very upfront about how I want to pursue dating. I am very authentic when it comes to how I want to date. I never want dating to be forced. And after the show ended, me and Janelle definitely did try to date. But for me, there was things in my healing process that I wasn't ready for. And so when we dated after the show, it made it aware of certain things that I still needed to heal from. And actually broke down on the phone a couple times talking to Janelle about it because it was really frustrating because I had done so much healing on myself that I thought I was ready to embark on a relationship. And so it was frustrating to now be done with the show, start to date Janelle, and not be ready. And so, no, unfortunately, we are not dating. So there's your answer.
So there you have it. The Lovebirds, you know, as much as they were in love on that stage and couldn't get enough of each other. And I want to know, what is he healing from? What are you healing from? Like the last girlfriend, and we don't know when she fell into, you know, your life in terms of girlfriends go. She said you broke up with her because you were not ready to commit, or she broke up with you because you weren't ready to commit. Now you was over here a week or so ago ready to commit, not only to being in a relationship with this older woman that you never saw yourself being in a relationship, but also deciding that you maybe don't need to have as many children as you thought you wanted, and you know, three's not necessary, and maybe you will be fine with adopting. You sat up and said here and said, if y'all, what did he say? He said, if we continue to date, then we're gonna get married. So I guess they're not getting married. They're not together. I'm not surprised. And Janelle, well, she had something to say. Let's see what Janelle had to say. I went over to her social media. This was after the reunion. What day was this? Saturday, I think. She went over to her, the Saturday, the next day after the reunion. Janelle went over to her Instagram and she had a few things to say. So not only was she coming for Lee and Kat and Jessica, she came for us too. She came for the YouTube and the bloggers and the Facebook groups, and she came for everybody. So yeah, let's get into this. Janelle said, this chitlin circuit journey has finally come to an end. She done called the thing a chitlin circuit. That's not nice. Did Chitlin Circuit do well for you know, Black actors back in the day? Like, see, I don't like don't knock that, because it was an actual thing that, you know, people got paid, employed to, you know, to work. I don't know nothing about that. I set out to show women they could show up as their authentic self. I did that. She showed up as her authentic self. That's unfortunate. You know, it would be better if it was all an act, because your authentic self is a scary individual. I set out to dispute the status quo of matchmaking and empower women of all sizes. They could have what and who they wanted. I did that. What you do? The man said y'all ain't together, first of all, and what women were out here thinking that they couldn't get who and what they want? That's you. Speak for yourself. Don't speak for the rest of us, because I don't know, you know, I feel like I can get what I want. I feel like I can walk in a room and command attention without trying to make other people feel less than, because that's whack, Janelle. I set out to prove that you could honor your standard of beauty sans all the augmentations. I did that. Is she coming for somebody with some fake? Who is fake on there? Girl, shut up. How come everything with her has to be a knock at somebody else? I did that. Girl, I just don't remember. Anyway, I don't remember nobody on there being like, where I was like, what child? Was anybody over there with fake? It doesn't matter, Janelle, because it ain't did nothing for your self-esteem. You're feeling some type of way. It clearly. This is a lie. This is a lie. She did that, y'all. She set out to hold it down for the 40+ girls. I did that. Well, what did she hold down? She held down what? I don't know. I'm a 40+++++. And I mean, I didn't feel held down by Janelle. I set out to show people that you can love God, stand on his word, and still be incredibly flawed, yet favored. I did that. What? Why did she bring God in the conversation? Because it seems already in a very angry space. I feel like her dissertation here is very angry. The cast of this season, we share a unique experience that experience that lives only amongst us. Instead of supporting one another collectively through this tumultuous process, we allowed our egos to overpower us and rob us of what could have been an impactful moment. Has this show ever been impactful? Is that what show is she on? Because I don't never like think that impactful was a word I would come up with when I'm describing. It's some cute Friday night entertainment, but I've never been impacted by Ready to Love. I think she's confused. Where does she think she works? Anyway. We could have done awesome things together as a collective. Instead, first it was we, but we back to you. Instead, you allowed yourselves to be manipulated by the machine, pseudo-celebrity and pride. An opportunity for excellence was truly missed, and we all played part in this. What? Girl. The castmates, one by one, with their bruised egos, took to Facebook groups of equally miserable people, struggle blog sites, and YouTube channels that aren't monetized to talk about me and to lie when the truth was good enough. Who was lying on you? What did they say, girl? I wasn't over at the Facebook group. I talked about you pretty much throughout the process because I am not monetized, but talking about you gets me a lot of views. So I'm going to go ahead and keep doing that. I'm a matter of fact, keep talking about you until you go away. Maybe not. I'm tired of talking about you, girl. Really not obsessed, but it's funny that you think people are. You went on a show that has all these platforms in place to interview the people after, during, however it's going. This is not the first season. This is the 8th season. And for all these seasons, we have watched people go on the show and then do interviews and talk about their connections and all of that stuff. You knew that before. You said this was your favorite show, girl. And you said you came on here when you did a nasty little live before the thing even popped off. You was over there on your Instagram doing lives talking about how you never would have done this. You thought it was a dating show. I thought this was a dating show. I came here for love. Now all of a sudden you came here to stand up for the young women and the non-augmentated women and the 40 plus women and the plus size women. And y'all was going to take over the world and get what you want and who you want when you want. And impact people on a dating show. I cannot. This is golden. Anyway. Where did we leave off? We wasn't monetized, but we want to talk about her. Okay, girl. Well, let's keep talking. You didn't talk about your brands or businesses, not your love connections on the show, and not what you learned from the process, but just me. Who was talking about you? So yes, you are in fact obsessed. Kat, is she talking to you? Who's obsessed though, really? Like you were the one getting in your car going over to that girl's house. I'm gonna call her a young girl. You are 40 plus out here rolling up on somebody's child at their house, girl. You did that. That's what you did. But it's okay. I forgive you. Who she forgive? And I hope that amidst the rubble of this experience, you are able to find peace, real reality, your real names, a functioning website for your pseudo businesses, a dictionary to increase your vocabulary, and a board-certified psychologist to help you unpack your childhood traumas and low self-esteem. If that's not projection, child, somebody need to call you a certified board psychologist, psychiatrist. She said y'all need to get a dictionary. I might need one. I might take your advice, girl. I need a dictionary and a psychologist. I'm not somebody with a whole lot of childhood trauma or low self-esteem, but I could probably increase my vocabulary. So, thank you for that. To Anthony Sylvester, Simone Slaughter, and Noara Blue, respectfully, you are the scum of the earth. I don't know who these people are. I'm not signing up to calling these people the scum of the earth. We gonna say according to Janelle. I don't know where that came from. The seeds of dissension you're sown, your lack of integrity, and your all-around poor work ethic are befitting for where you found yourself in life, at my footstool. What? May God have mercy on you for how you have treated his chosen. She said God chose her. I mean, did he not choose the rest of us? Are you the only one he chose? This is psychotic. Seriously. Girl keeps saying they mad that a curvy girl snatched up the best looking man there and you slayed every young girl. LOL. That's in the comments. This is who she's talking to, people with this type of mentality. So this is the comment that I see under this picture. It says, girl, girl, I keep saying they mad that a curvy girl snatched up the best looking man there. Looks are definitely very much subjective, and so maybe you think that Quentin was the best looking man there. I personally don't. I'm not saying he was all right. You know what I'm saying? He was all right. But yeah, what does that mean? She snatched up the best looking man there and they're mad. Mediocre even. And you slayed every young girl. She slayed every young girl. That's what this lady said. I think she's psychotic. That's what I think. I think it's super unfortunate that somebody at her big old age is over here talking about who chose her and who girl. We're done with this. Ready to Love reunion part 2. I'm glad it's over. I'm actually not obsessed with Janelle, so after today, I ain't got to talk about it no more. I don't have to say Marie no more. And I'm going to try to avoid situations that are combative, and I hope you do the same. I will be here to talk about some other shit. We're going to go over to New Orleans and see what's going on with that new improved version of Ready to Love. You know what? I saw this on ABC that I'm going to be out. So they have this show called The Golden Bachelor. And I feel like, first of all, I heard it and I was like, okay. So one of my clients was telling me about it and I was like, I got to go see what this Golden Bachelor is all about. So there's a 72-year-old man who was married to his wife for 42 long years. She was the love of his life. They retired and they got their dream home and then she died. That's where they started. Apparently this man was on Good Morning America and they decided that they were going to make him the Bachelor because after 42 years of being married to someone, he wants to go find a wife. And so the best part though was when all 15 or however many of these 60 to 80-year-old women popped out of a limousine twerking and, you know, Cuban shuffle and carrying Easter baskets, and it was a whole lot of little ladies with tight dresses and booty shaking. They were coming to get the 72-year-old Bachelor. Anyway, I was thinking, I've never liked The Bachelor because I think that's dumb. I think that we're not going to bring one dude and have 25 women in here trying to vie for his attention. I hate that idea. And I'm damn sure not going to be vying for the attention of some 72-year-old man, but I was entertained for that, 45 minutes. I gave it 45 minutes just so I could see, the work these women were going to put on to try to, hook this old ass man. Now, what I was thinking though is because Ready to Love is different. Ready to Love is not all these women vying for one man. It's a group of people that are supposed to connect with each other and see what happens. Maybe we should move Tommy over to the Golden Ready to Love. You know what I'm saying? Where he could find about 15 old men and older women, and then they can mingle and stuff and see if they find love. Because that's how Tommy knows, like, you know, how the dating scene is, like the over 60 plus, you know what I'm saying? Relationships. These people right here are on some different shit. So when they start flipping tables and lady over here being combative, and, you know, it's just a lot going on for Tommy to try to figure it out. And the best he could come up with is that it is what it is, y'all, now. So, yeah. I'm gonna check out the new Ready to Love in New Orleans. Y'all check out, you know, the 72-Year-Old Bachelor just for kicks. Like, give it a few minutes. I'm not telling you to watch that thing. I just thought that was entertaining for what it was. And yeah, like the video, subscribe to my channel, and bye, y'all.